I have always been a competitive person. I've been competitive since my parents enrolled me in soccer when I was 3 years old. And I wasn't always the best at it. My parents would always tell me to stop chasing butterflies around the field and start actually kicking the ball into the net. But it didn't hold much weight for me because I knew that no matter what, my parents were going to let me get ice cream after the game, and it was going to be a good time. But now, at 17, playing soccer holds a lot more weight for me. Some people might see sports or soccer as just a game that people can play to have fun, but personally, as someone who has put half of her life into the sport, I mean, you can ask my parents. They always say they're sick and tired of driving me back and forth to soccer practice every day, and it can get to be a lot, but I wouldn't change it for the world. You can ask anyone around me that I think I'm the person. I don't know anyone else who loves my sport as much as I do. In fact, I've played so much soccer that I would be much more comfortable with a ball at my feet than standing on a stage as I am today. But nevertheless, this year I played varsity soccer for St. Cloud High School. And I was one of the only club players on the team, which means that I had a higher skill level than the rest of them. So I felt a lot of pressure from my teammates and my coaches to always put my best foot forward, always show up and lead the team. And so every loss that we took, which was a lot of losses, they felt like a personal loss to me. It felt more like I was failing than my team was. And I think of this as my personal experience with competition in life. I've competed in many things, and I've lost a lot of them. I've won some, but I think that focusing your self-worth on competition can be damaging both physically and mentally. But first, I think we have to look at why we compete. Darwin's theory of evolution and survival of the fittest points to that as animals and humans and any living creature has had to fight for their survival. If you don't fight for your food or shelter, you're not going to make it. You can see it in animals competing for game for their next meal, or humans fighting for a spot in college. There's also social comparison theory, which says that we get happiness when we succeed and beat other people. And this can also be traced back to the hit of dopamine we get every time we beat someone else. Dopamine is like a chemical in your brain that every time you win something, it can give you a hit and it makes you feel good. It's almost like an addiction. And I think that if you focus your self-worth on competing, on getting this hit of dopamine every time you succeed, it's not healthy. But it is woven into the fabric of our society. For example, in schools like mine, with grading on a curve and ranking students, it can inspire competition between peers. You have to compete if you want to get that valedictorian spot or a spot in a TED Talk competition. Not competition, but event. And it's woven into our corporate America. Hustle culture says that we have to fight for our spots for those promotions, and some people will even neglect their physical health in order to succeed in their jobs. This mindset to competition can be incredibly damaging. If you base your self-worth on being better than someone else, it's just not healthy. For example, Simone Biles, a professional Olympic athlete, has won 23 gold medals playing in Olympic gymnastics. And even people as successful as her can find pressure in competition. She had to sit out in the 2020 Olympics because the pressure from her teammates and coaches and fans was too much for her to handle. And I think this can apply to everyone. If we don't get that promotion or that win, we feel bad about ourselves. So I think instead of basing our self-worth off of other people, we should look within. You don't need someone else to prove to you how worthy you are. You should know how worthy you are. And instead of competing against other people, you should compete against your personal best. For example, I compete against myself every day. I try to put my best foot forward in whatever I do. I don't like to do things halfway. And I think I'm pretty great. But not everyone sees competition the way I see it. So yeah, I'm very competitive. But I've lost too. I've lost frequently. I've lost at HOSA regionals twice in a row. I've lost soccer games. I have lost club elections. I've lost friends, and I've failed constantly. But I've won too. I've won with my high school varsity soccer team when we were losing 5-0, and I made sure that no one on that team gave up no matter what, and we played till the final whistle. So I think that no matter what, it's important for you to keep going, give it your best, and not let other people define you. It's okay to lose. It teaches us lessons. But it shouldn't define you. No matter what, there's always going to be a second chance. I've lost HOSA regionals twice, but I'm going to go back there next year, and I'm going to win it this time. And you know what? If I don't win it, that's okay. Because I'll still be me, and I'll still have given it my best, and I'm not competing against other people in that competition. I'm competing against myself. As long as I'm doing my very best and doing what I need to do, that's all that matters. So what I want to leave you with today, how can you shift your approach to competition? How can you shift from feeding off of external validation to your personal motivation? Because the greatest victory in life isn't beating others, it's being the best version of yourself.